is in terrible trouble. You haven't even heard about the trouble yet. You're sitting here wishing Bush is going to do something to, what is that man's name? Clinton. You have to understand the American presidency isn't the power it used to be. Not at all. The American presidency cannot exhibit the kind of influence in the world that it used to exhibit. And you must recognize that even the United States' internal economy is to a good extent out of its control. Yes. Yes. You got to understand what's going on here. That many of the restructuring, that this country is in so much debt that it cannot even rebuild its infrastructure and its highways and the other things that it needs to be. That it lived during the whole of the 80s on the goodness of the Japanese. That this country was not financed by white Americans at all. No. One day we'll have to talk business here and talk about bonds. How is a government in debt? Anybody has an idea how a government goes in debt? What do we mean that a government is in debt? Huh? What is a bond? You hear it every day, stocks and bonds. We hear it every day, stocks and bonds. What is a bond?
Take that money and make it, but do what they got to do and pay you back later with some interest.
It's essentially a what? Loan. It's a loan. Corporations raise money through bonds. They sell stock. That's one way of raising it. And if they go poop, you're out. You're through with it, right? You're on stock. It's over. They also raise money through bonds. When you buy a bond, you are lending money to a corporation or to a government. And so government finances itself through selling bonds. And its bonds are rated just the way your credit is rated. And these bonds are bought by banks just the way banks lend you money. Insurance companies and individuals if they have enough money. And they are bought by other governments. You see. So with the United States being overburdened, spending much more than it could afford, sold bonds, and the Japanese and the Taiwanese have what? Bought those bonds. This means that the United States government and the governmental system and economic system is in hock to the Asians already. You understand what I'm talking about? Am I clear?
Yes.
They've been such hock, and their money and wealth has flown out to such a degree until they're even borrowing more money from foreign banks than domestic banks. They're in such hock that their industry is now going into partnerships with foreign companies. And in going in business with foreign companies, they are selling them their technology before they can even develop it within this country. They're selling them their knowledge and technique. They are shipping out their research and development facilities now. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.
Huh? That means the basic infrastructure, the economic infrastructure of the United States is being shipped out and sold lock, stock, and barrel to other people and to other nations. And that's the thing that Clinton is facing today. They've given away money to the middle class. See, they made you think they was giving it all to the poor. But actually the people who make over $100,000 and $50,000 get more money out of the U.S. government than people who make under 10. Yeah, that's the reason why they have the problem. They call it entitlements, but you never hear them discuss what entitlements are, do you? You think when they say entitlements, they're referring to welfare people, right? No, it's the fact that they have given this money to middle classes and upper middle classes and permitted them to rob the government now. And now politically it's difficult for them to do what? Take it back. In fact, Clinton wants to give them what? More. But now he's recognized that the debt is so terrible that he may have to go back on that promise. That's terrible. That means there's a crisis here. Tremendous crisis. You think that you're going to get by just getting skills, you got another thought coming. I told you the other evening that within the Russian economy, you could pay a Russian physicist, top flight physicist, $20 a month. The ruble's value is in such a relationship to the United States until you can hire a top flight Russian physicist, a number one, for $20 a month of American money. There are engineers in India, Indonesia, and other places that are as well, if not better educated than American engineers. And therefore, many companies now are not only beginning to ship their manufacturings out to these countries, they're beginning to ship their research and developmental facilities out, which means even their creative ideas and other things will be generated in other nations. Do you understand what I am telling you? There are people in Ireland today processing data for Reader's Digest out here in Hightstown, New Jersey, wherever. Yes, sitting at computer terminals, handling all the subscriptions and everything, and taking that information from Ireland directly into the main computer there. They don't have to hire input people here at all, and they're doing it for for a third of what they pay. There are people with MBAs over there being paid half of what an MBA is paid to process information. But you got to know what the hell is going on in this world. Do you understand? And understand the situation and the circumstances we face as a people. And you can see then why they're in the jail and why what's going to go on. You haven't seen the worst of it yet. You haven't begun to see the worst of it yet. This is why you got to transform your education. You just can't say, get an education, get a skill. So what skill? Do you know often too, as things become even more automated and so forth, you don't need those skills. Because the friendlier the computer becomes, the less skill you need in programming it, don't you? Yeah. So anybody can work it. And if anybody can work it, why not take it to Mexico? Why not take it to Indonesia? Why not take it over here? So they work the whole thing, man. We'll talk about it another day. We'll talk about how these ghettos have been created deliberately by the economic system here and what's going on here. You got to understand this, though. But the Japanese and the Asians are outstripping this country. And this country feels that if it is to compete, it must then move into the global market and operate in a global system, which means to a great extent denuding its own people. Denuding even what? White folk. Not only black folk, but white folk. They're telling you on one hand how they need all your skills and all your competence, and yet what did I tell you the other evening? GM is firing 74,000 people. IBM is getting rid of 20 or 30,000 people. Come on, what are you talking about? How are you going to tell me you need more skills and what's happening? You're getting rid of all your skilled people. Come on. There's something wrong here. There's a hoax being played here. And then on the other hand, they'll tell you, and you hear it every day, that it is the small companies that are generating what? Employment in America. Not the large companies. The large companies are what? Shrinking and fading away. And that the future employment possibilities in America lies with the development of small businesses. That's your time now, you see. You don't got to build, steel companies, ladies and gentlemen, African men and gentlemen. You don't have to build now big IBMs and all these other stuff to compete now, because the weight lies with what? The smaller companies. Understand what I'm saying? And so in a sense, the crisis of this democracy, or whatever you want to call it, represents our what? Our opportunity. You see, the European system is in almost complete disarray. As a matter of fact, the economic system, if you understand and look at it closely, one of the things you find out is you can't understand it. Even the Europeans don't understand it. Oh yes, it's dangerously out of control. Very dangerous, very precarious. If you read Economist magazine some months back, they had a long piece on they really don't know what's going on there. You understand? But you see the Russian Empire has collapsed, and collapsed in terms of what? Ethnicities and groups and so forth. After 40 and 70 years of telling these people, oh, communism is godless, and it is raceless, and it is classless. And what's the first thing happened when communism fell down? Race, class, and God start fighting. Okay, people started killing each other in terms of what? Race, God, and class. So after what? 70 years of communist propaganda and control of the Russian Empire, the old bugbear what? Ethnicity raised his head. And you want to sit around here and think a little belief in Christianity and a little belief in Islam is going to take racism out of the world. You got another thought coming. No way. It ain't over by a long shot.